What is up, guys? Welcome to another edition of This Week in Wrestling, the 19th of July. Extreme Rules today.
Should be an interesting one, really. A swamp match.
How'd you find the week?
Overall, not too bad. It was pretty good. I loved the Wednesday night battles. They were both the best shows on the thing. SmackDown, I almost didn't watch the show for how it started.
That was
where they just used things to fill some time.
Yeah, and the beginning things was those 1980s style flash promos, which they were shit then and they're shit now. I agree. I think it's becoming quite a common trend now that AEW and NXT are the highlight of the week, and it's a shame. It's a great thing that they go head to head, but at the same time, it's a shame that they go head to head because it'd be good to see them, flourish independently. But yeah, I don't know. There's the build to Extreme Rules has been okay. I don't know. It's neither here nor there. I think there's some good highlights. I think, but
it could be even better with certain matches. Like unsanctioned wrestling match between the Big Show and Randy Orton.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why that wouldn't be on the card. Same as Jeff and Sheamus.
Bar brawl.
Yeah, this makes no sense. Why it's on Extreme Rules? Why is it not on the card? Yeah. Anyway, what were your highlights of Raw then?
Ugh.
I think I had like the Shayna Baszler return was good, but
actually, I just suddenly forgot about that.
Yeah, she was so. You know why they did it as well? Because everyone was criticizing the fact that they had her wrestling on main event, like for the last few weeks. So they were like, shit. That was so bizarre to me that they had her just disappear since Mania. They pushed her so much, and then it was like, that's done.
That's because Vince doesn't believe in her.
Which is so fucking ludicrous. Why did they have her? Why would he put her against Becky, his like prized female, if he didn't believe? I don't know, I just find it so weird. But he just loses confidence in people so quickly. But I really thought she was going to come and fuck up R-Truth, though, to be fair.
Be honest, R-Truth was. I actually thought something like that. I thought she was going to walk away with the 24/7 title.
Yeah, so did I.
But I think R-Truth, I got to admit, has got to be the MVP of the night there.
Yeah, he was good. He was so funny backstage with Ricochet, and I love that.
Oh, what you mean, Richard?
Yes, yeah, that was so good. And then in his little squash match with Randy Orton. Yeah, that was good.
Which is a shame because at the end of the day, R-Truth could fucking out wrestle most of the people there.
Yeah, I think he just enjoys doing that.
50-year-old man.
Yeah, I think he just kind of enjoys doing the comedy bit. It's much more fun, isn't it? But I mean, we started off with the VIP lounge, which was fine. I mean, Dolph cuts some good promos. I'm still not. I don't know. I'm still not all that interested in the Dolph Drew match, but I think it's been fine.
Well, the problem is the reason why none of us can get into it right now is because we're still waiting to find out what the fucking stipulation is.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it's a TLC match because they leaked it by accident. They put up all the things and they took it down and they decided, we're going to make you wait until the day.
Don't you have a
pay-per-view for that?
TLC?
Yeah, so part of me thinks that maybe they leaked it, realised that, and now they're going to change it.
Realise they leaked it because it's not TLC?
Yeah, because we haven't got a whole pay-per-view named after it. But yeah, they put it up on their Instagram.
I found quite amusing so far. It's to do an Extreme Rules, but there's not an actual Extreme Rules match yet on the card.
So it would make sense that Drew and Dolph is just the Extreme Rules match. That would make sense if they do that. But I see that The Rock put over Dolph Ziggler on Instagram though, because WWE put up a picture of Dolph with the WWE title, and The Rock replied to it saying that he'd be all down for that. And Drew replied being like, what did he say? He replied to him saying, "Know your role and shut your mouth, or it doesn't matter what you think."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that was quite good. Just where The Rock shows up and screws over Drew.
The Rock's clearly been watching a lot of wrestling recently. I mean, he
It's got nothing else to freaking do.
Yeah, I mean, he even commented on Moose from Slammiversary last night about how good he looked, and thinking, so he was actually even watching Slammiversary, which is
It was probably backstage.
yeah, a little Impact show. We have the continued build towards Seth and Ray. I quite like that with Kevin Owens.
Oh, yeah, but I don't. It's going to get a bit gruesome, that match. It's even the idea of this match is you've got to pull the person's eye out.
Yeah, this is what I asked last week, but I was like, so what is the aim of this match? Is it to
I thought
literally
they were
blind
just
the other
going to do
person?
like they did like Mysterio, the fake blood, and throw him into like a stair thing, like act like they're piercing the eye. Apparently, you got to pull the eye out.
Yeah,
that's the idea of winning the match.
So I'm concerned as to how they're going to do this. I just imagine it's going to turn into some weird gimmicky thing. That's why it's been called the horror show, right? Are we actually going to?
Well, Rey Mysterio's already cheating already. Because no offense, he's only got the one eye that they can go after.
Yeah, he's got an advantage there. He's got two little targets that he can go for. I didn't mind it. I liked it. There was a lot of squashes on this cut on Raw. There's been a lot of squashes for the last sort of few months, but it's becoming, I think, more often that you have the one long match and then just a load of either squashes or really, really short matches. Like you had
the thing is, you're doing the more shorter matches because Vince McMahon, because you don't have an audience, feels like people can't watch a match.
Yeah.
Although we all managed to watch the Edge and Randy Orton match at bloody WrestleMania, we got like, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, since they've had like the recruits in the audience, I've kind of tuned it out. I think when I watched Slammiversary last night, it became abundantly clear just the difference that little bit of noise makes, because Slammiversary was kind of really awkward at a lot of points when there's no crowd. You know, especially when you have big returns and things. It's like,
especially when you have someone finally win a women's championship for the first ever time.
Yeah, and it's like it just becomes really, and then that coupled with like really poor commentary from Josh Matthews is like it just makes it really, really awkward. But I think, I've sort of kind of tuned it out. Like every now and then you realize it when you hear how over the top the crowd is in WWE, but I don't know, I've kind of tuned it out. We
don't bother me too much.
We again had a lot of Bayley and Sasha.
We always get a lot of Bayley and Sasha.
They kind of dominate the shows at the moment.
I quite like the fact that actually they weren't really there that much on SmackDown.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But they have been kind of dominating the shows for the most part. But yeah, no, I liked it. I think the show ended with the women's tag match. The Golden Role Models versus the Kabuki Warriors. It was a good match.
Although the important thing of the whole night though was that Andrade and Angel Garza finally got on the same page.
Oh yeah. They've been telling a good story there as well. The commentators were actually telling it quite well throughout. About I think Angel went for the tag and Andrade tagged Angel when he was in the ring on a blind tag, and Angel just sort of ignores it as if he doesn't tag him and things. And they kept on telling that story about them ignoring each other basically. No, I liked it.
But no, they sorted their differences out on that one. So
yeah,
let's go. Andrade took a freaking a move and pushed Angel out of the way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's some there. I don't know where they're going with Zelina's like crew now.
I think you'll find at the moment they're going to put them in the tag team division. So
yeah, it's like at one point they were pushing them up towards the main event sort of picture, and then obviously everything splintered off, and they were going to go with something with Austin Theory, but then now Austin Theory's been off the show, so it's like, oh yeah, it's all kind of all fractured. I don't think it's anything really of their fault. I think it was it was their fault. A COVID-19 thing.
So that, and Paul got taken out of his position. It was pushing.
And those were his people. Yeah, that's true. We had AEW Fight for the Fallen. A constant stream of pay-per-views on television with AEW for 3 weeks.
Yeah, this one's an interesting one for trying to do heel turns, but not really working.
Yes. Yeah,
So
I quite liked I quite liked Moxley and Brian Cage. I thought that was a good little finish there
yeah,
because I think they told it quite well in that Brian Cage has just had his his arm repaired. He'd just been off for months and months and months having surgery, so it was like, oh, he wasn't going to give up. So Taz threw in the towel. I think that was fine. I
so
know lots of people shit on it. I thought that was perfect.
well, he's still a champion. So
Yeah, yeah. Although I saw someone make a good point. It may have actually been Brian Alvarez, and normally he doesn't make good points, but he made a good point about how it should be like this week after Moxley versus Brian Cage that Taz should have presented him with that title rather than the week before, and like then he loses. It should have been this week that he says, "Hey, like sorry for throwing in the towel. Here's a reconciliation sort of gesture." Yeah, actually, yeah, it made no difference to the story either way. Had Cody versus Sonny Kiss. Now this was
that was actually
it
really
was a
great match, actually.
very good match, and there was a lot of really shitty stuff going into this, like people really shitting on Sonny Kiss, like being really like homophobic and sexist towards Sonny Kiss before the match, to the point where Cody had to even release a statement basically telling people to fuck off, like if they had an issue with it. I thought it was a brilliant match.
Yeah,
I loved Sonny Kiss hitting Cody's finisher on him.
Yep. I got a bit irritated though because I realised with Cody at the moment, they're trying to do that slow style appeal. Doesn't work without having a major fan base. Though, if you're gonna just turn him, he'll just freaking do it.
Yeah, yeah. It's what I said. Like it's been quite clear to me that they've been trying to go for that slow build heel turn, but yeah, you're completely right. It's like unless there's people there to actually notice it, it kind of gets lost a little bit. I think it's fine. I think. Go on.
No, it's also like the same thing with Kenny in his match.
Right. Yeah.
That way just really doesn't like little people.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I think they're finally bringing out some sort of heelish tendencies in Kenny, and so that, which is good. I'm glad about that.
This is the bit I'm kind of liking. I'm hoping that with all this going on, they're slowly starting to tell the story of the implosion of the elite and the elite breaking up and everyone going their own ways.
Yeah, because they sort of hinted at it, just prior to the pandemic, didn't they? They were sort of like hinting at it there around Revolution time, and then it was kind of just been because people haven't been around and all that stuff. It's sort of and then when everyone came back for the Stadium Stampede match, it was like, we're all good now, other than Adam Page who goes off drinking. But
he helped out. He was chasing people down with his eyes.
Yeah, I hope that they do go that route, because I think there's been a lot of Kenny's kind of been lost in AEW. I think I just don't think he's really had it. He's not like New Japan.
No, I was watching this thing and watching this, and I'm just like, you go from being #1 ranked wrestler in the world to this.
Yeah, it's quite a massive drop down that he's had, which is a shame, like a real shame. So I'm hoping that they finally. I get why they like when it first started. None of the EVPs wanted to be like the top guys that they wanted to get, and I get that. But also, you had someone who's considered to be the best in the world, and you just did nothing with him, really.
He makes a good tag team partner for Adam Page. That's all that matters.
He does, and I think it's worked well in that regard. In that he may have not got himself over, but I think he's helped an awful lot in getting Adam Page over.
Well, the thing is, you watch things with Adam Page, he just gets it.
Yeah, he does.
So
he's the most like natural performer I think they've got.
Dan, I also like the fact that Adam Page showed up again having a drink, and then ends up having a drink with FTR.
FTR, yeah. So we had FTR versus Lucha Bros. That was a very good match.
Yes,
very good match.
Yeah, and then it all breaks down a little bit at the end.
Yes,
when 3 members of the elite get involved.
Yeah,
which all kicks off Kenny's heelish things.
Yeah, that was a very good match. I think to telling that story between the Elite, FTR, Pentagon, Phoenix is basically trying to push as like, hey, we've got the best tag team wrestling in the world. I think that's really what they're trying to, because tag team wrestling has never really been taken seriously. Like in our lifetime, it's never really been taken seriously. Like, it's not like the 80s or whatever. So I think that's good. I think it's great that it's really becoming the most important story on the show is the tag team.
That's mainly because that's all they've got.
That's very true. That is very true. Yeah, so I don't know. I think my highlight was that whole thing. I think my highlight for AEW was the FTR, the Elite.
Yeah, that
thing.
I caught my favorite match of the thing probably was FTR and Lucha Bros.
Yeah, of course. Chris Jericho cut a promo calling himself the what was it, the ratings king or whatever. He's the ratings mover, despite the fact that
no, it's not the rating king. He's the demographic king.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, he's a demo king. That's right. He's a demo king. He despite the fact that Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho did actually lose hundreds of thousands of viewers and lose in the
that's like with the MJF thing when MJF said everyone comes to watch him, and so
it's so funny. I
also felt it was a bit of a pain in the ass. So let's jump tons of orange juice on him and then let's put him on announcing, because it was all right for 5 minutes and after that it just got a bit irritating.
Yeah. I did like the little orange juice thing. Thought the little thumbs up for Orange Cassidy. But
that and JR sucking up to Jericho.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Just because Tony wasn't there to do that role doesn't put JR now in that position.
Yeah. Do you know Tony Khan on his interview with Eric Bischoff this week, he compared Tony Schiavone and Chris Jericho to Bobby Heenan and Tony Schiavone or Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan. He said that's their modern day. That's what he thinks his modern day duo is Jericho and Tony.
But Jericho's not on the commentator the whole time, so
no. But I think that's what he's hoping, is that he can get Jericho over there full time, sort of once JR steps away.
Even though Chris Jericho right now is sort of the leading his show sort of thing at times.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he's talking in like a couple of years' time or whatever, that he'll be able to transition Jericho over there more often.
Yeah, but the problem you're going to have with Chris Jericho is Chris Jericho then has to disappear after certain points of 3 to 6 months.
Yes,
tour.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I don't know. That's what Tony Khan was talking about, though. He was talking about Tony Schiavone and Jericho's relationship with one another in the booth, rather than JR and Tony. So he's obviously got that in his mind.
Yeah, but it's not a great business sense when you know you've got a person who's in a rock band who disappears for 3 to 6 months.
So NXT.
Well, I enjoyed. I got to admit, I quite enjoyed the whole Damien. I love Damien Priest.
He's so good.
I loved him from when I watched bits of Ring of Honor and saw him in that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think his little thing with Finn really highlighted to me just how damn good he actually is. They tore the shit out of each other, and I enjoyed this show. I think I like the winner takes all thing that they're going to be obviously keep on doing, like Keith Lee versus what's his name, Dijakovic.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I struggled with pronouncing that name. That was a good match. Bit confused though why there wasn't like Adam Cole, Undisputed Era, none of them at all.
Yeah, and also why it wasn't either the main event or just before the main event. Why it was just slap bag in the middle. Well, I get why they do that. They're doing it because ratings. They're trying to, overcome AEW. But it was weird to me. But and also a very good women's match, actually. Very good.
Tegan Knox is impressing more and more each week.
Oh my god, yes. She was sort of not an unknown, but do you know what I mean? Like you rewind before the pandemic, and she was just kind of a body that was there. Yeah, she's been.
Well, you could say that about most of the women.
You could, that's true. That's true. So, yeah, no, incredible, really incredible. And then it all kind of goes downhill with SmackDown on Friday.
Oh God.
I don't know. I didn't like how they kicked it off with those really shitty backstage promos.
So, literally, I lost my patience with it. That bit, I almost didn't watch the show. And then when they offered John Morrison up as a pawn to Bray Wyatt, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I loved the opening match. That was great.
Yeah. Nikki Cross and Asuka, that was really good. And I think
no, that wasn't the opening match.
Oh, what's the opening match? Oh, Cesaro Big E. Yes. Yeah, that was a good match. I thought, Cesaro Big E was a good match. Do you know what? It's weird. Cesaro and Shinsuke have I don't know, they've been together for an awfully long time now, but it's only really been the last month they've really bothered letting them talk, letting them have a personality.
Well, before that, they've realised I've had to kind of do something with those two, because before that they were part of a trio, and it was all about Sammy.
Exactly, and they let Sammy talk. Of course, we know that they've now picked it to be a table match at Extreme Rules.
We knew that was coming after Let's Keep Bringing the Table involved.
The table's out, yeah. So the discussion about a cage match was a bit pointless, because it's like we knew where this was headed. Although I thought that was hilarious, where he's like, I don't want to see Big E twerking up against a cage. That was brilliant. And then we moved into the Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Bailey, Sasha, Asuka thing. What?
When Bliss was finally allowed to get a special guest out here?
Yeah, we had Braun Strowman and John Morrison again for some reason. Braun cut a okay promo about a swamp.
I quite like Braun Strowman on his attitude and that, and I liked how they showed him off. I just don't understand why you had to make it John Morrison, because John Morrison's quite a big star. So why are we now kind of just nodded him?
Yeah, but it's a common thread with this, basically, that they just, I don't know.
But I quite enjoyed the angle Braun put across and the things, so it makes me a little bit more interested if we're going to get this version of the Braun Strowman, a bit more interested in the swamp match, until I probably see how they do the swamp match.
Yeah, I'm interested in the swamp match, just because I'm interested in any of the cinematic things they do. I wish that they wouldn't be throwing the Miz and Morrison under the bus constantly, though, with everything. Especially when Morrison's just, I don't know, since he's been back, it's just that's really grinds my gears. It's just how little they've fucking done with Morrison, and yet how everyone keeps on talking about how great he is at the same time. And I mean, I think even worse than that was the fact that "Give Naomi a Chance" has been trending all weekend on Twitter because of the debacle that was Naomi and Lacey Evans, and literally during SmackDown wasn't trending. Hashtag "Give Naomi a Chance" was the top trend over SmackDown, because so many people and so many women's wrestlers have come out and all said the same thing, basically. Yeah, she damn well does deserve better than this shit. Charlotte was tweeting out about it as well. Like, there's been so many of them basically saying, yeah.
I've been saying about I want to see Naomi with the championship again. I want to see that glow belt.
Yeah, I want this glow belt.
Then they'll be able to finally release the toys that they were supposed to do last time before they pick it up.
Yeah. It's such a shame that she's sort of always been right there, but I get what they do. I like Lacey Evans. I really like Lacey Evans, but
I don't know. They're doing a shit version of the whole thing on her at the moment. I can't be asked that.
Yeah,
I'm not even fond of that Hill version.
Yeah, and do you know what I found even worse was they recapped the damn karaoke thing. After everyone criticized it, they went and threw back and showed you about it again, and it's like, oh, god damn it, how have you not realized that everyone thought that was a terrible idea? But I think it all kind of picked up in that the main event with AJ and Riddle I actually really liked.
That was a really good match.
Yeah, I thought it was a great match. I think
you know why I enjoyed it more? Matt Riddle didn't open his mouth.
Yeah, although they kept on doing those back and forth bloody promos, didn't they, with Riddle throughout the show and AJ. I thought
why the show was shit.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good, quite a good main event. I'm glad they didn't put the belt on Riddle so quickly. There was a part of me earlier this week which thought, oh, maybe they'll go there. Maybe they'll just, strap the rocket boosters on him and try and go for it. But I'm very glad they didn't, because there's still a lot of people out there that they're not on with Riddle yet. Like you.
I'm fine until he opens his mouth.
I like it. It's his
get him a manager to talk for him, and I'll be completely behind him.
No, that completely takes away
Paul
from
Paul Heyman likes manager former MMA wrestlers.
No, that completely takes away from what makes Riddle Riddle. What makes Riddle Riddle is his
it'll make him great.
No, that's what makes Riddle Riddle is his laid back surfer dude sort of attitude. That's what made him big in UFC. Do it
like Brock Lesnar does his things behind Paul Bearer's back.
But he's not as intimidating as Brock Lesnar. When you look like a Brock Lesnar, you don't need to talk. When you look like a Matt Riddle,
I'd love you to say that to his face and then watch him tie you into a knot.
Hey, I'm saying that when you look like Brock Lesnar, you don't need to talk. You're a big dude. You're intimidating.
I'm on about Matt Riddle.
Right, yeah.
I would love you to say that to Matt Riddle's face and watch him tie you in a knot.
I'm pretty sure Matt Riddle could take the fact that he's not the same as freaking Brock Lesnar. They're in two completely different weight classes, massively different weight classes.
Even though he says he can kick Brock Lesnar's ass.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. That'd be fun.
So you saying that he's not as intimidating as Brock Lesnar will probably tie you in a knot.
He's definitely not as intimidating as a Brock Lesnar. There are very few humans on this planet as intimidating as a Brock Lesnar.
Not when you come out and say, "Hey, bro."
Exactly. See?
Yeah, bro. Fucking dickhead.
So Extreme Rules is tonight. Let's start going through the matches. So we have
do we have to?
Apollo Crews and MVP for the US title. Who you got?
I think MVP wins it.
Yeah, so do I actually. I wouldn't mind an MVP win. He's been doing really good work since he's been back with WWE. I wouldn't mind.
Well, he's more entertaining than Apollo Crews. Although Apollo Crews is getting better with his mic skills, MVP is more entertaining.
Yeah. We have an eye for an eye: Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. So who's getting their eyes fucking gouged out?
Fuck knows, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Part of me hopes Dominic getting his eye gouged out.
A little part of me can see it going being Seth. So it then leads into the story of that he can then get ready to add a few months off that he needs.
That's true.
But the other part is, Rey Mysterio technically doesn't have a contract, so
possibly true. Yeah.
Why let him win?
Yeah.
The dude thinks about Rey Mysterio thinks about retiring, so
yeah. So we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the tables match, the New Day versus Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm a bit torn on this one, to be honest. I think they've been doing quite a lot with Cesaro and Shinsuke.
I kind of feel it's time for some new champions.
Yeah.
New breed.
Yeah. I think they've been doing a lot with them and they could do quite well, but also it normally follows WWE trends that when they push someone just before a pay-per-view, they normally don't win it.
Yeah, but this show they come off slightly second best at the end of it. They get the put for a
that's
table.
true. Yeah, that's true.
So, but hopefully, I'd like to see him at the guys. So
we then have the SmackDown Women's Championship: Bayley versus Nikki Cross. I would very much like to see Nikki Cross here, but I said this before.
If she don't win it, then it's just pointless. WWE might as well close their front doors.
I've said this before about Nikki Cross winning, and then she didn't last time. But hopefully this time, it's all on Nikki.
Yeah, but she's been a superstar this time, so
yeah. I hope Nikki. I don't know. I think they're probably going to keep it on Sasha, but I really hope Nikki
on Sasha.
Oh, on Bayley. Sorry, because I was looking at the graphic for the next match, which is Sasha versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship.
Well, technically, we know Oscar's winning it because they're already planning a triple threat match for SummerSlam.
They don't know what they're doing for SummerSlam. Anyone that thinks they do is feeding bullshit.
If Nikki Cross is robbed,
yes,
by Bailey, then I'd like to see Sasha win to see him out. Have them dominate the whole show and just have how many hours a week would it be then? 7 hours a week of just Sasha and
Bailey. There's worse things that could happen. I won't lie.
Yeah, the old Bray Wyatt might win the Universal Championship.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yeah. So we have for the WWE Championship, we have Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. I mean, it's going to be Drew, right?
I don't know. People backstage like to listen to what The Rock has to say.
Yeah. I feel like this is just sort of another filler story for Drew. You know, like they keep on, they'll feed him someone, let him beat him, move on to the next one to keep building him, which I'm fine with. You know, same as Bobby.
Yeah, I'm still pissed about that. Bobby deserved the 3-month storyline and walking away with the belt.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's just another one of those. Just give him someone, feed him to him, let him beat them, let him move up.
It'll probably be Drew.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't mind if Dolph won it.
I wouldn't be,
because he really is very entertaining.
Yeah, I wouldn't be annoyed, but it'd be a shame if Drew's entire reign lasts in the no fans era. It's a real shame, I think.
Okay, how long we plan on this fucking era? This going on for?
What, the no fans era? Well, that's what I'm saying. If his reign begins and ends with no fans,
Drew's reign.
Well, in theory, they could be back with fans at some point this year. In theory, I mean, in this country, they will be come October.
And then we're all gonna die. So
yeah, I didn't say I'll be attending, but we have the main event of the what's it called? The Horror Story at Extreme Rules, which is Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt in a swamp match. Now, this isn't for the title, though. Apparently, from what I have here on WWE's website, it just says Wyatt swamp fight.
But it should be the championship. That's the point of it.
Yeah, but so unless I'm incorrect, on the WWE's website that I'm looking at right now, it just says Wyatt swamp fight.
I am looking at it, but you know what? Their website's shite.
Yeah, so I could be wrong, but also I don't actually remember having heard them mention the title, so I don't think it is up for grabs.
Other than Braun Strowman in the fucking match if he's not going to defend his title.
I don't know.
See, I'm already done with it. I'm already done with it now.
That was
fuck the WWE. I'll watch NXT and AEW and probably start getting back into Impact.
Oh yeah, it does say Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt head back to their roots for a non-title.
What's the fucking? I'm done. Fuck the show. Everyone boycott it.
Which probably leads me to believe that because it's non-title, that Bray is going to win and they're going to do something with Braun afterwards. That's what it leads me to believe, but I really don't know.
Reform the old fucking Wyatt affair. They sacked two of them.
Yeah. No, I don't know what's going to happen with it, but there we are. That shows tonight.
Don't watch it; it's pointless now.
No, go watch it. I'm sure the cinematic match will be something worth watching. I'm sure it will be.
Probably not.
But whether it's good or bad, I'm sure it'll be interesting.
Bray Wyatt's last one was no one understood what the fuck happened in it, and their last cinematic style match, their camera work was that bad, no one could really work out what the fuck was happening.
The common thing which should be noted is as long as Jeremy Borash has his fingers on this, it will be good, because Jeremy Borash is the reason that, you know, Undertaker AJ went off good. It's the reason that Matt Hardy's ones all went well in TNA. As long as he can sort of work with this, I'm all for it.
We'll see, unless he gets eaten by an alligator.
Yeah. Anyway, please head on over and follow us on Twitter at SCW_podcast. Like and subscribe to this video, and we will see you next time for another video. We are out.